Yo YouTube everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're back with some more coaching subscribers. We are literally 11 days away from Black Ops 6, so we're going to be going through focusing on some of the transferable skills that I think you guys will need to learn, not only now but also in Black Ops 6. A lot of the stuff like, you know, map control, this, that, control of the gunfight, these are all transferable skills, so when you learn them now you will use them next year. Other stuff like if I say, oh, this is the best spot in Invasion specifically, obviously that won't be as applicable. So I'm going to be trying to go through it, and I'm going to be trying to just use the general game awareness and sense to help you guys not only now but as we prepare for Black Ops 6. So let's get right into it. This is the boy, I believe it's Luca. I don't want to butcher that one. Yeah, Luca. So this is Luca's VOD review. I believe he's currently in gold. I want to double check when he dies what rank he's in, but I believe he's in gold. So we're gonna be going through seeing what he does well and things he can do a bit better. Luca told me that he played for about 3 months, so this is his you know, start of the year essentially. That he's only played for a little bit, so we're gonna be going through and just kind of breaking it down. So off the break here, something I've noticed straight away, I actually watched his gameplay yesterday. I was like, let me watch it, just like a fresh perspective, and then I'll do a VOD review on stream and see where we go from there. So right now, one thing I would always say is, like, he's in a really good spot starting off, right? He's in a really good power position, and overall, I'm going to use tac maps to kind of put him where they are and things I'm just looking out for. So right now we're going to keep him as blue number 1, make it nice and simple, and he's sitting in here, and I think it's a really powerful power spot. I think it's a really good spot to sit in, and overall no issues with this spot. Let me just move this here. If you see me open up OBS and just trying to make sure I'm checking my mic is activated. Anyways, going through, so he's in a really good spot now. I'm very happy where he is. He's got a teammate behind him, and he also has 2 teammates on his right. So right now I'm looking through and I'm like, okay, I think he's in a good spot. The one thing I would be kind of cautious of, not yet, but this is things that go on in my mind. If I'm Luca right now, I'm looking and saying, right, where is the gap in my setup? There is a gap, and it's right here. It's my pinch, okay? So this is something I'm going to be a bit wary of. So if we use tac maps, I'm going to be a bit wary of this. Not just yet, not just yet. I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to have some fights over here. Once we get those first few kills, once we fight a few people, then I'm going to just be a bit wary and watch the flank. So just something to be wary of, just thinking ahead a little bit and thinking, right, what do we need to be cautious of? The next thing is, when you're on a head glitch, you want to be strafing left and right. I actually had this conversation with Lucas specifically. He asked me, can I just strafe left? And I said, you can, but the problem is that, say right now he strafes left, he's going to fall off the tank. So you want to be strafing left and right here to maximize your aim assist. So that's something I think he could have done a bit better there, is maximize his strafe, because not only would it have been easier for him to hit his shots, it would have been hard for his opponent to hit. So right now when you're on a head glitch like this, I would always recommend strafing a bit more, just not really standing still, because you're going to be a harder target to hit. Now they go through, his teammates end up getting pinched. It's kind of all over the place right now. You know, the teammates spawning all out. Let's see what he does here. He's going to go through. And you can see now his teammates end up breaking the hill. Now they go through. You can see there's more people. It's basically flipped now. So 25 seconds left, right? We've got to analyze the situation here, right? What's happened? Well, we basically flipped the spawns. So we now, if we look on the other screen on the tac maps, we now have the right side. We now have this side of the map instead of this side. And this isn't actually a bad thing. On Invasion specifically, I'm always a fan of keeping the enemy trapped in the castle. You can see for basically every single hill, maybe not P4, but even then I'm still okay with it. I would always rather spawn on this side for basically every hill on this map. That's why this map wasn't the best map for competitive, because it wasn't really balanced. One side of the map was always dominating. So in this scenario, your goal is to think ahead and say, right, what do we do here? So let's once again put them in the position. So we have Luca sitting in this area here with his teammates on the tank. You have another teammate there, and then you have another teammate back there. So in terms of map control, we don't have much here. We don't have much. There's 27 seconds left. We need to get a bit more map control. So I'm going to predict one's going to be around there. I'm going to say one's going to be around there. Maybe one rotates a bit early. One's around there. And then let's just say one comes off spawn. This is my kind of prediction right now. I don't know if this is the case, but this is my prediction right now. So we're going to play it out and see what happens. He goes through. So one thing I would say right now is, when you know people are here, you have 2 pieces of equipment, we want to be using that as quick as possible. The longer you take care, the worse it's going to be for you. So let me back away here. These are some small changes I would make from Lucas' perspective. Right now he goes through. Okay, you know somebody's right here. So I would say you just done a nade and clear that area. That's the first thing I would say. The next thing again is just being a bit cautious, because right now, look at this. I want you guys to play this out. We don't know where the other players are. They could easily be on his right. They could easily be on his right on that head glitch. So just right now, like doing this, for me, going through and standing right here, I know he's sliding, but I just feel like against a better player, like imagine if this player number 3 was positioned right here. If you guys look at the tac maps, imagine he was positioned right here. I feel like just going across, you're kind of asking to die here from a better player. Like if he shoots you, you kind of just cross for no reason. But just a small detail, he goes across, he's trying to flank him there. Let's see what he does. Goes through, gets one. Teammate gets the other. That's 2 down now. So again, just like right here, 10 seconds left. Let's push up a little bit. There's no need to stand here. It's all about map control. You've got the 2 kills. Your teammate's right there. So we now know what happened. We now know that the enemy team, are going to be positioned around P2. They're going to be spawning back here, and you have a bit of an area where you should push up from here. So when you're Luke in this position and your teammates are also at middle, this is where you just have to be a bit more decisive and just really maximize your chance of getting map control. So look at this, he gets 1. Perfect. Now there's 2 down. If we look right here, like for me, even just this little turnaround here, it's not needed. Stay where you are, go forward. Like right now, it's turning around, shutting the door. Like for me, this is a step backwards. Because look what he's done. If you look at attack maps, he should be controlling this area right now. Or he should be going to this area here and watching the cross. You see where I'm coming from? You should be trying to sabotage this area, this box. Your job is to sabotage this area, be annoying, put damage down, make it harder for them to cross onto P2. But instead, this is him, okay? Instead of doing those other things, he's going backwards and he's staying here. You see the difference between sitting here and sitting here? The map control is so different. Now where Luca is now, he's got no vision on anything. But where he would have been, he has the whole mid cross. He can put shots off, he can stop them from going middle, and he can funnel them through the left. It's all about funneling your opponents through the danger areas. Something I'm really trying to work with people on is just making sure that they're being as efficient as possible. So right now he goes through again, equipment, just be like, okay, you know what? Let me use my stun, let me use my nade. And this is the problem I see a lot of people have. It's this push through right here. You're going to see him, yeah. So this is a really big thing. So Luca specifically, when you're watching this is something I always think about. What is the danger area? Where are the opponents likely to be? And what's kind of going on in their head and what's going on in our head? So when you're Luca right now, when you're watching this scenario, you've got a teammate sitting there. You have another teammate going through. So you have one teammate on P2. You have one teammate fighting P2, okay? And you have another teammate at the back right there. We know now there's 2 spawns, okay? Spawn 1 is going to be around there. Spawn 2 is going to be around there. Our job right now is to keep P2 and keep them trapped. If we can keep the enemy team trapped in this palace, we've done a great job, because it's going to be harder for them. They have this little choke point to get out of. That's our goal. We want to actually keep them trapped in palace. So right now you should be thinking, what can I do to keep them trapped in palace? That's it. Simplify your game. What can I do to keep them trapped? And this is the perfect example. If your teammates right now have the right hand side, let's just say your teammates will go to the right. Where you're sitting is actually fine. It's perfect because you have middle map control. You have this whole area. So you see this area right now where you're sitting? This is actually okay if your teammates are going to go to P2, which it looks like they are. It looks like your teammates are towards P2. So you can actually sit here and say, this is fine. But what most people do is they get aggressive. They don't look at the map fully. And they're like, let me just push through. Let me just push through and, you know, try to make a play. You don't need to do that. So whoever's watching, whether you're in gold, diamond, platinum, wherever you are, this is a very important thing. I see it at all levels. It's this push through here. You do not need to get over aggressive and try to flank them and get like really pretty with it and try to be like, oh, let me make a nice little play. Like, you don't need to do that. Just stay where you are, hold the power position and help your teammates. I see this so many times. Something I see very common is people overcommit. They leave their power position, they overcommit, they try to make a fancy play, try to go through and get like a 4-piece. It's not the play you need to make. Sometimes being smarter means the boring play. In this case, this is the boring play. Sit here, hold this angle and hold middle. So right now, this is a one bit of feedback I would say. Look at the mini map and say, right, my teammates, they have this P2 area. All I need to do is watch middle for them. And that's it. I'm okay. Especially for the next 5-10 seconds. Let the game play out and see what happens. But as soon as you jump up now, this is where, for me, you lose your map control. You can see you go through, you lose map control, you didn't see me, it kills you now. This is where the domino effect can start to take place. You die, so you die there. So you spawn back here, okay? Think about it. Think about what's happening now. Your opponents are pushing through this side. One of your teammates is going to be worried about middle now, so he picks up middle. But they're not worried about middle. They're still staying here. 3 of them go left. You now see instantly they have the number advantage, you see? You dying there has just instantly given them the number advantage. Now they're 3v2. That's it. Straight away 3v2. Now this is what gets really bad. Imagine if a trades go off. Imagine this guy dies as you die as well. Because you pushed up there, you died there. So now 2 of you are spawning here. This guy is now 1 versus 3. You see? This is the effect it has. And then he dies and they have map control. So it all comes down to that first kill. You don't want to be the player that dies by overcommitting. You don't need to do that in this scenario. So you go through, you see you overcommit, now you're going to spawn at the back there, your teammates are going to be going through, and there you go. So in this case, you can see it's okay. Why? Because your teammates have map control. There's a bit of a split spawn there, so that was a bit of a weird one, to be honest with you. It was a very weird spawn. That was something that happens when they kind of pinched. You can see now you're spawning castle. Just a weird split spawn there because of the map control. But yeah, we go through. And this is, again, the reason why the map was out of rotation, because of spawns like this. This shouldn't really happen, but it's one of those that does. 35 seconds left. We're going to go through. Again, look at the minimap. We should know, okay, they're going to be castle now. So right now, this is what you do. You look in front of you, okay, Luca, and say, right, there's a few areas I need to cover. One is this door. One is this corridor. And the other is this left alley. This left alley here. This left alley here. You look at your teammates and say, what are they covering? What do I need to pick up? This player, he's in a good spot. This player is in a good spot. So if I was you, I would go to the alley and I'd watch middle. And this is where it gets a little bit complicated, but easy at the same time. You have to create a line with your team. This is your goal here. Remember, we're trying to keep them trapped this side of the map. That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to keep them trapped. So if you have two teammates there, if you have one teammate there, one teammate there, and you are spawning right there, what you don't want to do is give up map control. You do not want to give up map control. So you want to go middle right now. Okay, again, everyone watching this, it applies to all levels. You want to go middle right now, and you want to watch this whole area. This is what you want, because you want to know the whole area. Like right now, if I said this is your setup, this is a great setup. This is a great setup. Why? Because the red team is going to be trapped right there. Because of your yellow arrows, this is how the red team is going to be trapped. For me, that's a perfect setup. Exactly what you want. So right now, I'd expect you to go left here, and this is the issue. You see right now, look, you're going through. Now look. So instead of being where I wanted you to be, which is right here, I would love for you to be here and be able to watch this whole area, okay? Instead, what you did is you said, okay, I'm going to go where the hill is, and I'm going to help my teammates. You see the problem here? This is the problem now. Three of you now are watching this area. But what if they go through middle? What if they go through the right? There's no one there to counter that. So it's about spreading the map. So in this scenario, rather you be there, spread the map, okay? Small thing, but it makes a big difference. Because as soon as one of them gets out, they're going to be pushing through. And now look, 20 seconds left. Look, three of you here. They already rotated. You're in an off position. You get killed. And now look, let's see in the rotation what happens. There's no mid-map control. And you can see it. Look at the mini-map. There's no mid-map control. But again, you should be thinking right now, I need to rotate. I need to make sure it's clear. And you can see you're going through. If I ask you right now where they are, we have no idea. You see here, Luca? We have no idea, bro. You don't know where they are. Why? Because you died earlier. Your teammates all died as well. So we have no, there could be one there. There could be one rotating already. There could be somebody already in the hill. We don't know because we rotated too late. So these are things we need to work on in advance. Right now you're going through. Where are they going to be coming from? Your right-hand side. So you see, you just go out in the open. These are things that get risky. In this lobby, you get away with it. As you play harder players, as you go up into the higher lobbies, what happens? You get away with less. So whoever's watching, I know some of you guys are platinum, right? I know some of you guys are silver. When you guys do stuff like this, you get away with it in these lower lobbies. But let's say you go into a platinum lobby or a crimson lobby. Right now, they would be rotated. So right now, they would be set up in power positions. And that's the key difference. So as you go through, look what happens. Right now, if you were in a crimson lobby, there'll be a player right around here. There'll be someone right around there, and they would kill you. You see? That's the difference. They wouldn't let you get to this hill for free. So you get away with it now, but they wouldn't let you in the future. Okay? Let's see what happens there. Good nade. Great nade. Trophy system can go down here. You got a trophy. I would say to use it. I would say right now, use this. Just kind of put it in the corner there. Just kind of stop people from pushing through. Just a small detail. I'm okay with how you're holding it. It's not bad at all. So one thing you mentioned to me is you about strafing. So this is something that happens all the time when I'm coaching people. They strafe until they go into a gunfight. And they forget to strafe because it's muscle memory. So I want you to focus on this in gunfight, Luca. Look what happens here. You see you're shooting him. As soon as you aim in, you see now, look, you see you're not strafing. That's a muscle memory thing. You remember to strafe, until you get into a gunfight, then you forget. So just focus on strafing in your gunfight to help your aim assist. Little things like this over challenge, okay? You're doing a great job right now. What you're trying to do is you're trying to go back and forward between these 2 points to shoulder for information. Right now, you get information. So you get information. Look, you're doing a good job. You get information. As soon as you get information here, you should ask yourself, okay, Look at this scenario. I'm the only one in the hill. Okay. Who should win this gunfight? This opponent or me? It's probably this opponent. So right now you back away. You back away and then you shoulder again. You make this guy worried about you. Don't give him a free kill. But look, you overcommit, you try to fight him. And now look, now you die. Guess what? Now your teammate has to get on the hill. Your teammate was the one covering you. So now this guy, it can watch over your teammate. Look, he has to get on the hill. You see? So you're giving them advantage. You're giving them a chance to get back in it. Look how far you spawn. This is the crucial thing. Look how far you spawn. Jay, what's good, bro? I'll answer the questions in a second, chat. I'll pause this in a second. We'll go through some questions. But right now, just like I mentioned, like, look how far you spawn. So you were just sitting here. So you were just sitting P3. You were sitting right here, okay? Right here. Now, with you dead, look what happens. So this is within 2 seconds, by the way, Luca. You went from there to there. You see that, chat? That 1 over chow has cost you, what, 15 seconds? And now, look, now you have to go through this whole area again. In this case, it's okay, because your teammates held map control. But you can see how this could be an issue. You see how this could be an issue. So let's go through to the next hill. Again, right now, map control. For me personally, you guys should be pushing up here. You should be pushing up and maximizing your map control. It's not a terrible position where you are. This isn't a terrible position, but I would much rather you be on this tank here. I would rather you be in this tank and holding this mid-map control line, like holding this line there, instead of holding it by the castle. You see the area's difference? This difference is your map control that you want on the map. So right now you're holding this line here. If you look on TAC map, this is what you're holding, but I would prefer you to hold this line. You see? Just having more of the map, to your team. It all comes down to map control. There's 2 of you, 3 of you, so you can see your teammates there, they've got map control, so you should be thinking, okay, how can I push up now? Because if you look on the hard points, we don't want this castle side. Remember what we said earlier? We actually want the other side. We want to be holding this side. We want to be having, this is our map control. This is our ideal setup that we want, okay? Let me show you. I know people think on this hill, oh, you want castle? Not really. You really don't. You really want to, this is what you actually want. You want someone there. You want someone there. You want someone there, kind of in the hill. And then you don't mind having somebody kind of watching over them, going to the left. This guy can be a little bit between the two. If you have somehow hold spawns, you can, you can push up a little bit here, but it depends on the spawns. You don't want to overcommit. So even if you have someone like that, 2 people watching over, somebody like behind the motorcycle, that motorcycle right there, that's not a bad setup. And then this player checks the left as well. I actually like this setup. You keep the red team trapped here, because then towards the end of P4, when there's about 20 seconds left of P4, you have the spawns for P5 as well, and you're spawning them so far away. So right now, look, this is where I'd want you to be, flipping the spawns, but instead, because you're facing this way, you see you're giving your team the red spawns. For me, this is just a little bit problematic, because now you guys have to escape castle for P4, and if you don't escape it, imagine if you get spawn trapped here, what happens? You're gonna have to go all the way around to P5 and fight through the whole map control. So when you guys have kills like this, try setting up a little bit early. That's kind of the main thing. Try setting up a little bit early here. So let's go through. So now you're in a position where you're like, okay, I'm holding this back area, but again, like I said, you're not holding much map control, right? So you can see what I'm saying. Like, you're not holding the map control. You're kind of just standing where you need to be. It doesn't really work out like that, because now look, you're just, yeah, it's not a lot of map control. 20 seconds left, you have to go to the new hill. Good kills there. Immediately you should turn around. Yeah. So right now, if we look at the spawns, you can see, you see your teammate spawns right there. As soon as your teammate spawns there, that tells me they're spawning behind me. So get the kill, turn around immediately, and you know they're behind you. 10 seconds left. Let's start rotating now. So now we're setting up for P5. So back onto the video. So we're on P5. So we're going to keep going. We're going to progress through. And yeah. So right now, this is a perfect example. This is a perfect example. 3 people have just died here. So your teammate gets a 3-piece, okay? And this is one thing I'm seeing all the time. It's this retreating thing. It's something that I see is like installed in goal level plays. It's this retreat mentality of, let's go back. But this is something I'm trying to change, okay? So Luca's currently in the chat right now. So I just paused the stream, realized he's in the chat, and he asked me a very good question. Let's go through the question again real quickly. It said, where is the question? So the actual question Luca said was, I have a simple question. How can I determine what's the max map control from the spawn I have to get to keep them trapped and not switch the spawn? Great question from Luca, and he's actually the VOD review we're reviewing right now. So I thought it would be great to go through that concept together. So right now, let's go through the situation. What's actually happening? There's a couple of things to look at. One is the minimap, 2 is the kill feed, 3 is the hard point. Those are the 3 things we're going to pay attention to. So 1 is the minimap. Let's paint a picture. Paint a picture together. This is the picture. We are number 1. We are standing right there. My teammate is pushed up. He's around there. It looks like around that tank. I can't see exactly, but it looks like he's pushed up quite far. Maybe somewhere out there, something like that, whatever. He's pushed up. I have another teammate who's right next to me back there, and I have another teammate who is right there. If I asked you right now, there are 2 spawn points. 3 of them just died, so they've just died, okay? Where should the red team spawn? Out of the 2 spawn points. You have spawn point 1. Okay. Or you have spawn point 2. In this case for P4. So this is for P4 we're looking at right now. So each hard point has its own spawn. So for P4, these are the 2 main spawns, roughly. P2 can be a bit pushed up further, but roughly around there. Right now, I am willing to say they're going to spawn P1. Spawn 1, sorry. So in this situation, if I'm Luca, okay, I'm the player, I'm number 1. I'm thinking of one thing. Where are they spawning and how can I punish them? If my teammate has middle, which it looks like he might do, all I'm going to do right now is think, right, they're going to spawn here. Their route that they're going to take is more than likely going to be like this. This is the route I expect them to take. This is the route I predict them to take. So I'm thinking, okay, if that's what they're going to do, me as a player that wants to cut the lanes, what should I do? And this is where I think, right, the best thing for me to do, if I could say, where could I be in any position? I would love to be over there on this tank, because then I could get the kills from a head glitch. So I go through here, I can get the kills and I can spawn them back here. Look how far away this is from P5. And this is the key difference. Instead of what Luca does now, backing away and retreating, this is where I want you to be a bit more creative and say, right, how can I cut the lanes? I'm going to go forward and I'm going to get to this spot here. Instead of backing away and retreating, when you have 3 down, remember, very important, 3 people are dead here. So we know 3 people will spawn here. 3 people are going to push through here. This is where you should be instead. And then you kill them and you retreat them again and you slow down their push. You constantly slow down their push. That's the key thing, okay? So let's see what happens here. See, because he backs away. I want you guys to pay attention to attack maps. Look, he backs away. 3 of them now. 3 of them are on the hill. You see the map control you're giving them now? Look at this, bro. Look where you're sitting right now. Your whole team is completely different now. Look, you have 1 teammate go there. You have 3 people around the hill. There's no map control. Right now, if I asked you, right, Luca, how many people are middle map? You could not tell me the answer because we don't know. There's no map control to tell us. So we don't know where they are. So you're giving them a chance to push through. You're giving them a chance to break in through these angles. We need to be pushed up. We want the red team to be as far away as possible. If possible, we want them to be around there. This is what we want. But instead, because you're retreating, because you're backing away, you're letting the red team get in these areas here. You're letting them get closer and closer and closer. Yes, you can still hold the hill, but if you die once, you're completely out of it, and that's what we want to avoid. So look, he's behind you. See, he's behind you because they pinched, they go through, and now look, you're getting some kills, the trades are going in, but it's the same concept. You're fighting in the hill instead of pushing them backwards, and now they get the spawns, you see? Because you guys pushed up and didn't have map control, they get the spawns. And now look, now you spawn out. Look where you spawn now. You spawn in ice cream. Now you're running through the front and you're running with your pistol because you're running, you're sprinting. So these are the things we have to avoid, okay? We need to make it easier by holding power positions more. We're going through. Same scenario here. Think, okay, they're going to come in front of me. What should I do? Jump on this tank. Be annoying. Sit on this tank. Sit on this head glitch. And just sit there, stun it, nade it, watch the middle, just make sure they can't get on the hill. That's all I want you to do here. Wait for your teammates, buy time, but let's see what you do. You see, you go forward, you're running, and look, now you're running at the hill, but you have no one with you. So even if you get 1 kill, you're probably gonna get traded here. You see? You get traded. Now look, now you're dead and you get traded, your teammates are by themselves. So it's a constant flow, okay? So sometimes I want you to sit there and hold a power position. Holding a power position makes it a lot easier for you, a lot easier to gain map control. Now let's get rotation, see what we're doing here. So a lot of the things that comes down to, Luca, when watching your gameplay specifically, is just like these small fundamental things, that you're going to be working on. It's just like map awareness, slowing the game down, and you're quite new to the game, right? You played rank play for 3 months, so I completely understand where you are, and I think you're at a good point, I really do. It really comes down to just being consistent and learning from these mistakes. So right now, look at this, good play, great play. You get a 2-piece, you back away, I'm okay with this, it's a good play. You go through, a little bit aggressive here in terms of open position. And this is where I think you could be a bit more valuable and just hold your area and say, right, I'm going to sit here now. Yes, my teammates aren't on the hill. So maybe I go on the hill. But if I go on the hill right now, I'm going to sit in this left corner. You see? Like, if you're going to get in the hill right now, just say, okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to sit in this corner here. And I'm going to wait for 5 seconds. I'm going to wait and I'm going to preempt this door. And then once my teammates push up a little bit, I can see what they're watching. Right now, you have a stun. So maybe stun in there. Maybe nade in there. Maybe preempt this area. Just back away. You don't need to go into the firing range. You don't need to be in the middle of the hill where everyone's looking at you. You don't need to be the main bit of attention here. Just play in the corner. Wait for 5 seconds. Preempt this door. Let your teammates behind you. Let them push up. Let them help you. And that's where I think you can work on. Just your overall pacing. Like right now, you go through the middle. And you see, like right now, if they came through your left, you couldn't see them. You see you're out in the open. Imagine if you stood where I wanted you to sit in that corner right there, you would have killed this player. So just small details, just these small details instead of running around. Just chill. Just stay where you are, relax, hold a power position and go from there, okay? What happens now? 25 seconds. Again, same thing. You see you're pre-aiming every corner, You get a kill, this is good. Let's look at the map now and say, right, where could they be? I think right now they are spawning around there. P2 is around there. So I should right now go forward, go towards P2, and I should sit on this tank. I should stop them from pushing through P2. I should stop them from getting this whole left area. This whole left area on the left of this alley, I should stop them from getting it. On the left of the alley, I should stop them from pushing through it. So just little plays like that. So let's play it out. So right here, perfect. Go on this tank. Okay, I don't even mind you pushing up. I really don't mind this. You go through, there's 2 down. You know there's 1 here. He's going to be in your left here. You're in your left. Why do I know that? Because of where the map was positioned. We didn't see him. This is the only place he could be. That's 3 down. We know they're going to be on the other side of the wall here. They're going to be trying to break the hill, so you're flanking them. This is actually a good play. I'm actually okay with this. Perfect. You go through, you get a nice little pinch. This is great stuff here. Now hold a power position. This, honestly, I'm okay with this. Really good stuff here. Hold a power position. You're okay where you are. So they should be spawning castle here. So right now, yeah, this is like, okay, so this we should think, so okay, I think they flipped the spawns. I think they're gonna be spawning castle. How can I help my teammates a little bit more right now? I need to push up a little bit. I need to be on this tank, or I need to be watching middle. You see you're holding it from a deep angle. It's okay, it's not terrible. Just be a bit cautious. This is actually okay. This is actually okay. But this is where, once again, you look at the minimap and say, this isn't bad. We're not in a bad spot. However, there's no one watching middle, so maybe I should help the middle. Maybe I should communicate with my teammate. I'm not sure if you're playing with the green or the blue, but one of them is your teammates, right? So whoever it is, I don't know. I think it might be the blue, but I'm not really sure. Whoever it is, you should say to them, okay, pick up my dark, pick up my middle dark. I'm watching over them because I have a good angle, you see? So this is where your communication should come in. You should be telling your teammates where to go, where to navigate. Because right now, no one has dark. You see, no one has this area. So you're holding a good spot, but no one has dark, you see? 25 seconds left. Just like we went through earlier. Same thing we went through earlier, okay? We said, now there's 4 of you around here. There's 4 of you on this right side, and you're all watching the same thing, essentially. You're all watching the same thing. With 20 seconds left, there's only 25 seconds left here. What should you have? What should you really have? You should, instead of being holding the play like this, you should be holding the play like this. You see? That's what we want instead. We want a line like this so that we have more map control. So what you should have, what you should want here is maybe somebody on the hill like this, maybe somebody watching over them, somebody mid-tank, and somebody in the left car. You see the difference? You see the difference? We'll call this the pink. We'll make this the pink line here, okay? Look at the pink line. Luca, this is what we're working towards. This is what we want. Because we have the whole map and we spawn trap them like this. So this is the pink line and this is the pink effect it has, okay? This is what we want. But now we go to yellow and this is what you had. You had this. This is the yellow line you had. And then this is the yellow map control you had. You see? You can only see them in this yellow area. You can't see them in this other area. You don't know if they're coming through middle. You don't know if they're coming through the right because you guys are too thin. You guys are spread too thin here. So right now, if I said how many people through middle, none. You don't know. They come through dark, just like we mentioned, and now your teammates die. They could be rotating right now. 15 seconds, they could be rotating. So these are the small things. In this lobby, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. You're getting through. So I disagree with that setup. 1.18 bomb site, better for trades. Let's go through what Greca said. He said 1 point, 1 P2 tank. So I said 1 point, 1 P2 tank, 1 dark, and 1 AS&D. So this is very similar to what I said, basically. This is very similar to what I said. So I said the same thing, but instead of having 1 AS&D, I like having him start there, and then if people are there, he can transition to the left. It doesn't really matter for me, as long as you have the left covered. But for me, this is a setup I really like as well, something very similar. So again, it comes down to finding that optimal setup, okay? For me, I always like having someone mid-tank. I think this is the best spot instead of dark. Now, if somebody dies, let's say this player dies, then I want to see my teammates transition. I want to see this guy go through towards dark to help him, and I want to see this player go towards mid-tank. For me, I always want somebody in the transition area where they're kind of shifting across. They're shifting across to help their teammates, okay? Just a small detail. But as we go across, 3 seconds left there. Same scenario. We should be rotating. Look at this. You're fighting. You're looking at the red dots. Don't worry about it. Let's start rotating. Let's start moving. Let's go through to the new hard point. You can see the new hard point here is going to the left. Going across, there's a minute left here, and they have the hill, but they shouldn't have the hill. And this is the point. They shouldn't have map control yet, because we should have rotated earlier because we had this all, okay? So we go through. Again, little things here. Equipment. Just a little thing by using your equipment. Good trade, good patience there. You go through. Trophy system. Let's use our trophy now. Let's slow the game down a little bit. Let's hold this area. There you go. Great stuff there. You know, look who your teammates are. Look who your teammates are. Your whole team is behind you. They are only going to come in front of you. It's just small details like that. They're only going to come in front of you, okay? Again, this is the exact same thing that happened last time. Shoulder for information. If you feel like you're going to lose a gunfight, back away. You have all the positioning here. Right now, Luca, you have all the cover. As soon as right now, jump into cover. Why? He has to trade you. For him, he wants you to overcommit. He wants you to challenge him. You don't need to challenge him. If you get into cover now, he can't kill you. You are getting time on the clock. You are getting every second, right? So you can shoulder this, back away. Shoulder, back away. Be annoying to deal with. That's what you need to do here. He can't stop that. Like, if you back away and play your life there, he has to push you. But your teammates are watching the cross, you see? So if you gave him an overcommitment there and you end up dying, it's not what we want to see, okay? Let's go through. 10 seconds left there. Let's keep proceeding as we go to the new hill here. Once again, I actually prefer this side. I much prefer this side. Just getting mid-map control, getting tank control, and just stopping them from pushing through. Guy on your right, if we look at the minimap, he's right there. He's right there, close right. So again, you're worried about this guy. Good single tap fire. I'm not against this at all. But again, just being a little bit more clinical with, you know, people around you. We don't need to worry about that player just yet on top. Let's get the tank control, and then let's get the guy off the hill. Don't worry too much about this guy. I don't mind the single tap fire from you. I really don't. But again, you're too worried about this one guy. What about this other player? This guy's not a threat for me. He's not shooting you. But this player, we need to push him while he's fighting your teammates. There you go. There you go. A lot better. A lot faster there. Again, equipment. A little bit unlucky there. But just making sure you're more efficient. This isn't the end of the world here. This isn't bad. This isn't terrible. You're going through. They're getting the kills. Just keep them off the hill. That's a big mistake. This is a huge mistake I see people constantly make here, okay? Constantly make here. If we look at what we see here, this is a big mistake. People getting very worried about the hill instead of the map control. Let's just pause for a second. There's 12 seconds left there, 13 seconds left there. If I asked you right now, where do I want you to be? It's going to be this mid tank. I want to see you sit on this head glitch or go into dark and hold map control. But look what you do. With 10 seconds left, you have no teammates around you. You're running in the hill, running in the hill, running in the hill. Right now, if I pause it, and I said, Luca, who should win this gunfight? Who should win this gunfight? You or your enemies? Who should win this right now? The enemy should win this. I would say out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times, they should win this because there's two of them. They're both looking at you and you're sprinting. They should win this 10 out of 10 times. And then you're going to spawn all the way back there. So look how much map control you're losing, you see? Where instead of this, imagine if you still sat on the tank, Luca. Right now, imagine instead of pushing up like this, imagine if you sat on this tank right there. If you sat on the head glitch right there, right here. If you sat on this head glitch, you would have got another 2 kills, and you would have, guess what? They would have spawned. These players that died would have spawned all the way back palace. You see? So that's the distance we need to work through. That distance right there. So let's go through, and now look, now you spawn at the back, they're getting map control, just little details like this. We're going to go through. Great play pushing the right. This is really good from you. This is what I want to see. Again, small details there. Great play. You made a really good play pushing the right, and then you stop for a second. So don't be hesitant. Yes, there's a player on your right. There's a player on your right. Absolutely. I understand that right there. However, let's clear the left first. Because a player on the right, he's not going to turn around and look at you, because he's fighting your teammates. but the player on your left, he is going to be in your face. So let's clear him out first. So right now you go through, you should be looking left first. You see, this is what you should be looking at first. You should be ready for this guy first. Okay, if you kill him, then you worry about the right, because you're behind the other guy. He's not going to turn around there. Now you spawn out again, you see you have to go through, your teammates are fighting. Again, it's not terrible, don't get me wrong, this wasn't bad gameplay, but it's just one of those where against better players, it's going to be a lot of small issues we need to go through. So right now, I think you're a good gold player. I think you're at the right level right now. I think the rank is quite fair for you, and it really comes down to just the more you're playing. I think you're quite early in your career as well. You've only played for 3 months, which is really, really early. People playing for years and decades. So I think you're in a really good spot, and the more you play, you're going to start to understand these small details, because you're doing the right things. You're doing the right things. For me now, it comes down to just purely hours on the game. Okay, now right now, these gunfights, like right here, these gunfights, this is something that I think over hours and hours and hours, you'll start to be better at. Because that's a gunfight I expect you to win. And I think you're actually in a good position. That just comes down to mechanic skills. Again, let's just say Dashi, he's shot 500,000 bots. Let's just say, for example, let's say you've shot 200. You see, the difference between Dashi's aim and yours is the amount of practice he's had, the amount of shots he's had against those bots. So if you want to get better, you're on the right track. Just keep on shooting those bots, keep on practicing, and this is a really, really good staple, really, really good first game to go through. So overall, I think you played well. Just a few things I would say is yeah, just kind of cleaning up those things. I think equipment is a big one. I would say, from you. And sometimes being patient and holding positions, just being a bit patient. It looks like you have auto attack sprint on as well, and just being a bit more comfortable with your sensitivity. I feel like when I'm watching you, it doesn't feel comfortable. It feels a little bit awkward. It feels like you're finding it a bit hard to control it, and I think that comes down to hours as well, hours of practice. And then that's it. That's not a bad start. Again, like I mentioned, you look through, you're like, okay, this lobby isn't amazing. You did a good job, but I want to see what you do against platinums and diamonds and stuff like that. Against this type of caliber of players, I think you held your own. You did good. You got 23 kills. A few small mistakes, but overall I think you played well, and considering this is your level, I think it's a good start. YouTube, hope you guys enjoyed that one. This was going to be a VOD review for the boy Luca. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like, and I'll catch you guys for another review tomorrow. Peace.